Hey, this is Danny from Scare Talk. Before we get into all the horror greatness, I gotta let you know about Anchor. Anchor is the host site that we use to record our podcast. Anchor will upload your podcast to Apple and Spotify and many other listening platforms. Anchor is completely free, and you can download the app or go to the website, anchor.fm, and you can record straight on there. There's also some cool editing tools that you can use. Did I mention that it's free? Yeah, so if you want to make a podcast, Anchor is the way to go. Go check it out. Now, for the spooky stuff.
Welcome to Scare Talk, a horror movie podcast for horror fans. This podcast will cover horror movie reviews, ratings, and rankings. Now for your hosts, Danny and Joel.
Oh, man. This is the 100th episode of Scare Talk. I am Danny, and I'm here with Jungle Boy Joel.
Wow, hey guys, what's up? It's been a little while.
Yeah, Joel is back. Joel is back from his leave of absence, his sabbatical.
I was, yeah. Needed to take a break.
Yeah, it was getting to him a little too much. All the fame.
Oh yeah,
just couldn't keep up with all
fame
the
and fortune,
all the money rolling in, and it's just you gotta take a break sometimes.
Absolutely,
for your mental health.
Yeah.
All right, so this is a very special episode. It is number 100, so we thought we would do something a little extra special for it. We're not going to review a film. We're going to give our top 10 horror characters.
Plus 5 honorable mentions.
Yes, 5 honorables.
So 15.
You'll get 15. So this is characters. This isn't villains. This isn't protagonists, antagonists. It's just all-around characters.
Yes.
I had a lot of fun making this list. I went back and forth on a few of them, whether I wanted to include them or not, or where I wanted to put them. And what about you?
There's a lot more than 15 characters in horror. So
yeah.
I was the same way. It's one thing to do like a top 10 or 15 of like villains or heroes, but when you put them all together, it makes it a lot harder.
Yeah.
A lot more fun as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's gonna be some that people are not gonna be happy with as far as who didn't make the list. I mean, there's only 15, like we said. Yeah. And there's well over that in horror. Yeah. And also the listings of some characters people may not like either, but this is our opinions. Yeah. This is our lists.
Yeah.
So get over
it. We discussed doing this back at episode 80 or something, 82 or 3. I don't know. Yeah. Somewhere around there. We're like, man, we're getting close to 100. Let's do something special.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been thinking about it ever since. It's been weighing heavily on my mind.
It's been on the back of my mind for quite a while. Yeah.
Well, it's been on the front of my mind. I've lost nights of sleep.
Oh, man.
Racking my brain on where to put certain characters. So, with a lot of energy and effort here and sleepless nights. Mm-hmm. So, hopefully you guys enjoy it.
Yes.
All right, let's get right into it. Let's start with some honorables. Honorable mentions.
All right.
So you can just spout yours off, and then I'll do mine.
Okay. So mine, my first one is Ripley from Alien. That does count as it's a horror sci-fi.
Yeah.
She's an awesome character, and I wanted to include her on this list because she's she is Alien.
Yeah,
she is
sure.
the franchise basically. So, So next one is Hannibal Lecter.
I was wondering if he was going to be on your list.
Yes,
somewhere.
I mean, he's an honorable mention, but
Yeah.
you know, he did make my list,
Okay.
and he's just such a cool character. I watched Silence of the Lambs a few days ago, and
Did you?
it still holds up. It's still
Yeah.
a good movie, and he's really not in it that much, but the scenes that he is in, he is a scene stealer.
Yeah. Yeah.
For sure. And he's just an awesome guy. all
Yeah.
around.
I probably should have watched Silence of the Lambs before making my list.
Mm-hmm.
That's a hint at
Yeah.
what my list may not include.
May not include Hannibal Lecter. It's gonna include Clarice, right?
Yeah.
My next one is Norman Bates.
That's so funny.
Psycho.
These are the two people, Norman Bates and Hannibal. I was like, I just don't know if I can put them. I just don't really care about them. And they're the first couple that you mentioned. Awesome.
Yeah. Well, I mean, honorable mention, but you know, still,
Yes.
yeah, mention. I mean, Norman Bates. I grew up watching Psycho, and that the original, not the
Yeah.
98 version.
Yeah.
Like the scene for scene movie. Norman Bates has always just been such a creepy character,
Right.
and knowing what you know about him, like going into the movie, like, you know, he is Psycho. Pretty much like most people, I think, going into it would know that. It's definitely a part of our pop culture at this point.
Yeah.
So if you've seen Psycho, you know Norman Bates is a psycho.
Right.
And going into it, he's just like such a sweet guy that, you know, it kind of catches you off guard if you don't know anything about. But like it I don't know, the signs are all there.
Yeah.
That he's not all right in the head.
Right.
And you know, he's just a cool character.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's, you know, you got to give him a lot of credit, that character, for what he did, for what that character did for horror in general.
Yeah, oh yeah. For sure.
So,
I mean, a character like that really hasn't, like, when I remember what his real name was, but the actor who played Norman Bates, like,
Yeah.
those types
Perkins.
of characters really weren't around. Anthony Perkins, yeah. Really weren't around back then.
Right.
Not a whole lot. So he really had to, like, make this character his own.
Yeah. Yeah.
And really dive deep into, like, the psyche of these types of people. I don't know how he did it. My next one is Annie Wilkes.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah. So it's been a little while since I've seen it, but I definitely remember Kathy Bates' character
Yeah.
in that movie. And it was a really good, like, performance. Just like Ripley, like, she basically made that movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it definitely wouldn't be the same without. I mean, it obviously wouldn't be the same without that character, because I mean that's the whole. He gets kidnapped by a psycho fan.
Yeah.
But she does such a good job with that character, with that role, that I had to put her on here somewhere.
Yeah.
So
Her quirky, quirky personality that she has, like she's like this. I don't know. She's just like really goofy, and then like really serious, like crazy. But then like she can like switch back and forth super fast, to like this really nice, like nurturing person to this like psycho. So
to this psycho, yeah. Exactly. So this one was hard. This one almost made my top 10.
Okay.
But didn't quite make it there. My last one is Randy from Scream.
Oh, hey, cool.
Yeah. I love that character. And I was, as far as the deaths go in like all of the Scream movies, he was probably the one that like I disliked the most.
Yeah.
Because I like that character a lot. He was one of my favorites in the entire series, and to see him go, especially like in a scene that we don't really even get to see him.
Yeah.
Like,
that was really
we see
weak.
It was, and for such a big character like that, like he survived the first one, he survives half of the second one.
Yeah.
He was like one of the first ones to go in that movie.
I think
and
so.
Yeah. It was as far as the kills go, it was a bummer. Like as far as who you don't want to see killed off.
Yeah.
To see Randy get killed off. I would have loved to see him in Scream 5. All the way through the series.
Yeah, I feel like he's
a lot more than Dewey. Like Dewey could have been like, I don't know.
He's almost as important. Like he's close to as important as Sidney. Because he brings the connection from horror.
He's
the horror genre.
He's the meta.
Yeah, exactly.
Of the series.
So you kind of need that guy, but apparently you don't.
Yeah, apparently not. I mean, Scream 3 did fail in some capacities. It probably would have been a little bit better if Randy was still in it.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, he was like what in a taped like little like he still was the meta character in that movie.
He was,
It wasn't the same seeing him in 2 minutes as opposed to the entire movie.
Yeah.
All right, so that's my top 5 honorable mentions.
Okay. Now for my honorables. So I've got who do I got? Oh. Hold on, let me make sure I have the name right. It's one of my favorite characters. Let me make sure I have his name
your
right.
List.
Okay, I do have his name right. Jack Torrance.
Okay, The Shining.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah.
It was close with him on my list.
Yeah,
as well. But
I like Jack Nicholson, and that the whole build up to his madness in that movie is so cool. So and he's kind of scary. So had to get him on there
when he totally snaps. It's that's when it really turns into a horror movie.
Yeah, no, definitely. Okay, and then we got Chucky. He's gonna be a mention for me. He's a fun character. A franchise character, and he's funny. I would say 1, maybe 2 of the movies that he's in are good. Maybe
we
3.
need to do that series at some point.
Yeah.
There's a few that I like in that series.
But the character of Chucky is just so recognizable. Like even kids these days, know who Chucky is.
Oh, yeah.
And so.
He just won't go away.
Yeah,
he just had a reboot.
Yeah,
a couple years ago. We're getting a TV show this year.
Yep. So the Chuckster, he's got to be there.
The Chuckster.
And then we got Reagan, from
The
Exorcist. Yes.
All right.
I wanted to put her on there because she's like the scariest character in my opinion. Her and I mean the performance of that character was incredible for this little girl.
Yeah, it was.
She
didn't get work after that, but it was.
Yeah, which is like
really.
Yeah, she should get a lot of work after that, but
I know.
And just the way that they did the makeup, the voice, all of that stuff, like that character is scary. So had to mention her. And then we have the Creeper from Jeepers Creepers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, you've got all villains on your honorable mentions.
No, my whole list, I think I have 3 like heroes or protagonists. Everybody else is villain. So Get
Nice.
strap in.
Nice. Mine's literally half and half.
Okay.
Like there's one more villain than protagonist. So,
Okay, well,
on my list.
we'll see whose list is better.
Yeah. Usually villains are better. I just wanted to mix it up a little bit.
So yeah, the Creeper. The only thing I would take away from him is the fact that he can fly and has wings. Not a fan of that, but everything.
Why
else,
does he drive if he's got wings?
That's a good point. Yeah.
To stay anonymous.
But yeah, I mean, the first like 15 minutes of that first film I'll always remember that. Like, that is such a good setup.
Yeah.
And it's because of the mystery of the Creeper. Like, who is this guy in this trench coat and this hat and this creepy truck? And even when you see him, like, you know, it's kind of dumb looking. I mean, I don't know. It's you're kind of expecting a person. You're not expecting this like creature. And so it was kind of a bummer for me when I first saw the movie that it was a creature. But he does look pretty cool. He looks pretty cool.
He does. Yeah. The design is definitely different. Yeah. Like they really I mean minus the wings. He just makes it seem like he's like a dragon or something with his wings. But I mean, he could possibly be part dragon. He's been around for centuries. But yeah, that character is pretty cool.
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah, we recorded that episode and just never aired it, or like the quality was really bad.
Yeah, we're gonna. Well, we've got the reboot or whatever they're calling it coming out. So we'll end up doing those. I guess we'll do all three of them. I at least want to do the first two. I haven't seen the third one. So.
We have to do the third one if we do the first two. Like, it's just it was a straight to like sci-fi channel movie, but we have to do it. So.
Straight to sci-fi.
Straight to sci-fi channel. Yeah,
it's always a good sign.
Oh yeah.
All right, so I got one more honorable.
All right,
and this one I contemplated putting in my top. Well, there were two characters that I wanted to put in my top 10, but they haven't really had any, like, too many movies. So I thought, and they're pretty newer characters, so I thought, maybe I shouldn't put both of them. So this one's going to go in the honorables. Sam from Trick or Treat.
Trick or Treat.
He doesn't have any lines.
He's a pumpkin head.
He's like a sack head pumpkin.
Oh yeah,
guy.
Sack head. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got like a sack head, and then under the sack is a pumpkin head.
Is a pumpkin. Yeah.
And he is Halloween. Like, he wants you to respect the holiday, and
he does,
or he's gonna kill you with his sucker.
He really was like the best part of that movie.
Yeah, I love the design. I like that it's like a little kid. It makes it like even cooler. I have his mask in my house. It's, I don't know, just the way he looks and what he represented in that movie was just so cool. So he needed to be somewhere. So yeah, all right. Now for the real list.
All right.
So Joel, what is your number 10 favorite horror character?
So I was fighting with this one because this one could have been switched with Randy, honestly. But I'm going to go with Pinhead, Hellraiser.
Oh, wow. All right. I was thinking about him.
Yeah. He is a really cool character, and the first time I watched that movie, I think, was with you. We rented it from Hollywood Video.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it's been, 13 years? But, but I still remember thinking that movie, even, today, or, when we watched it, was still really a creepy movie.
Yeah, it's disturbing.
It was a disturbing movie, and the character was a pretty disturbing character.
Yeah.
and I don't know. I've only seen the first one. I haven't seen the other 7 or 8
Yeah.
that are in the Hellraiser series. But I just still remember that character, and
Yeah.
you know, Sent from Hell and all
Yeah.
this
Yeah,
good stuff.
his little box.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like
But,
his lines that he has are like really like profound, you know?
Yeah.
Like the stuff
Yeah.
that he says, it's not like your typical horror villain dialogue. Like he's got
Like
some
it's actually a
stuff to
good
say.
script.
Yeah. So, but
So
yeah,
I
that's a
had
good
to-
one. That's a good one.
Had to include him somewhere on there. It's hard to like rate the characters because
Yeah.
there's so many that can go, you know, either way. Like,
Yeah. Just depends on your mood at the moment, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You know, if you're watching a Hellraiser movie, you might be like, "Oh, Pinhead, he's like top 5," you know?
Yeah. If I was because I still haven't seen it since we watched it that one time.
Yeah.
I really like. I don't know about doing a series of Hellraiser, but at least the first one.
No, yeah,
should do.
I'd be down for that. I remember thinking that movie was chilling.
It really was. And I'm sure if it held up 10 years ago, it probably still holds up today.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So,
All right. So my number 10. This is the other guy who has only had one movie, going to have another though, coming out this year. Art the Clown.
Yes.
He
was in another movie like that.
That's
character.
true. He has been.
It wasn't
All
Terrifier.
Hallows. Yeah,
All Hallows Eve or something.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's true. He was in that.
But as far as having his own movie,
yeah,
this will be the second.
yeah. So, I mean, he is the scariest clown. There's another very famous clown that I did not put on my list. I'm thinking he'll probably end up on yours at some point.
Maybe not. I don't know.
But this clown,
Like I said, there's going to be several characters that don't make my list.
yeah, this clown, he is the scariest and the most brutal and the best acted, and just it's just so cool. And I can't wait for Terrifier 2 later this year.
Yeah.
Really looking forward to that. I'm wondering
that
how
one's-
that's going to come out, because I'm definitely
It'll
not
probably
thinking...
hit either a streaming service or it'll go to VOD.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's gonna.
It's not going to be a theater movie.
No, that would be cool if they did.
Not going to make it like a back-to-back Terrifier.
Yeah, or like a one night only kind of deal, you know?
Yeah.
Where select theaters will show it or something. I don't know.
Yeah. It's not... these days, it's not going to make any money in the theaters.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to go out to the theaters and risk COVID for Art the Clown.
What? What do you mean? They just don't know.
That's true. Yeah, the diehard Terrifier fans will go out, so it'll make like $100,000.
Yeah, all 20 of us will go out.
Yeah, a couple of times.
Yeah.
Just show our support.
So yeah, you know, him and Sam, I was like, I really want to put them both on there. But then I started thinking of too many other people, so I was like, okay.
Yeah,
We'll put Art there. I like him a little more than Sam. So
At least he has more of a character. At least he's in it more.
Yeah,
than Sam is.
he's definitely in it more. All right. What is your number 9?
My number 9. My number 9 is gonna be Dr. Loomis.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah,
That's my number
put him on
9.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Nice.
All right.
He's just he has some of the most ridiculous lines I've ever heard in a horror movie,
Yeah.
and he plays it off so well.
Yeah. The
And
blackest
he's-
eyes. The devil's eyes.
He's just such a ridiculous character.
Yeah.
And He fits more in like the later movies because as they go on, they get more and more ridiculous.
Yeah.
But he's really not that crazy and ridiculous in the first couple of them.
Yeah.
So his character really kind of matches with how the series goes. The more movies there are, the more ridiculous he sounds.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah. 5, he was like kind of crazy. He was getting like physical with Jamie and, you know, getting like, tell me, Jamie, tell me what you see.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, come on, old man.
Calm down. Jeez. And he's a fun character in that series.
Yeah.
And yeah, I had to add him to the list.
Yeah. He's the reason why I wanted to put him on is because there's another character who will be mentioned later. And he is part of why that character is so good.
Mm-hmm.
He makes that character better. And so I feel like they're kind of like a package deal. Loomis is also, besides that character that I will name later, besides that character.
Oh, such a mysterious
I know.
character.
Nobody
I wonder
knows.
who you're going to say.
Nobody knows who I'm talking about.
It's Lori. It's Lori, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Lori. Besides that character, Loomis has been in the most movies out of all the Halloween characters.
Yeah.
So, gotta give him that.
I mean, he's
too.
been in
He's
a lot of movies.
movies.
More movies than the actual actors of that character has been in.
Don't say his name.
I didn't. I almost did, but I didn't. People still don't know what you're talking about.
All right, so yeah, that's my number 9 too. Donald Pleasance, definitely a big reason why Loomis works so well.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Just he really dove into that character, that like kind of off the wall, little too into his job. Psychiatrist.
He's for
a little
sure.
dramatic, I would say. I mean, he's not though. I mean, you know, what he says is what actually happens, but it's just
the way he says
unrealistic.
The way he talks sounds crazy. Yeah. It's like, all right, old man. I think it's time to retire.
Oh man.
Oh man.
All right. Well, we might as well just jump to your number 8.
Yeah. My number 8's probably gonna upset some people. But Laurie Strode.
Oh man, you put her on your list?
Yeah, because I don't
Ahead of
like
Loomis?
her character in the first. So I don't like her character in the first couple, which I know to Halloween fans is like blasphemous.
Yeah.
But as the movies go on and Jamie Lee Curtis comes back in like H2O and then like the new movies and stuff, her character gets so much better.
Yeah.
She's actually doing stuff. And I know I think I saw like a poll or something on one of our horror movie groups, like which movies were your favorite like Laurie Strode movies, and people were saying 1 and 2, and it's like, why?
Yeah,
she literally does nothing,
especially
2.
Yeah, especially 2.
She's in a hospital bed for most of that movie. And when she's not, she's like running away from Michael. It's like, I get it. It's realistic. Like you're a high schooler. You're not gonna, you've seen your friends get butchered at this point. Like you're not gonna go up against this being by yourself.
Right.
But it's like, she is such an overrated character.
But what's
Laurie
good about her?
In the huh?
But what's good about her? Why is she number 8?
H2O and Halloween.
Okay.
Like the new one that came out.
Yeah.
Like when she gets older and she's, she becomes more of like a badass.
Yeah.
In the series. And I'm not including Resurrection. But so
she's kind of a badass in that one.
For like a minute.
Time she's in it. Yeah.
But her character does turn around.
Yeah.
and becomes a much cooler character than she used to be. And she, I mean, I'm going to disregard a resurrection. I'm going to say that she chopped his head off at the end of H2O.
Okay.
Even though
I mean, she did. She thought she did, at least.
Yeah, and that whole scene, I already got into it in our series, but yeah, I mean, she is pretty low on my list, which is why I thought people would be kind of upset that she wasn't higher.
Okay, she's not even on my list.
Well, you only have villains on your list.
Oh, I got a couple more people that are not villains.
So yeah, that's, I just liked her character better as the movies progressed.
Yeah. I would say H2O is probably my favorite version of Laurie. She's because she's still like, I don't know, it's the most realistic version of, and they are brother and sister in that one. And so I think the trauma that she's dealing with is shown more realistically in H2O, and then how she has to like conquer that toward the end was cool. So I like that in H2O. Yeah. I think that's her best movie.
Oh yeah, for sure. I didn't like her for the first half of the new one.
Yeah,
I it was like, dude, it's been 40 years. Like, just get over it.
And you're not even related. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. You're not even related. There is literally no reason for him to come back and attack you. Mm-hmm. Like, if you were brother and sister, then maybe, like, but you're not. Like, why do you think he's going to come back just for you?
Yeah.
Like, why are you special?
So egotistical.
Exactly.
But no, I mean, she's, there has to be somebody for that character to hunt. And so I respect her for that. She is one of the best final girls. We'll give her that. Yeah.
As it turns out, she is one of the best. Yeah. But I still, like, as far as final girls go, she is still overrated.
Yeah. All right.
As far as characters go, she's overrated until H2O.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Okay. Cool. I'm surprised she's on your list, to be honest.
Yeah?
Because we've just had so many conversations about her.
I know. And I mean, she didn't break like the top 5 or anything.
True.
So.
That's true.
But she really probably should have been an honorable mention. But replace her with Randy.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, so my number 8 is the best final girl, Sidney Prescott.
Number 8?
Number 8, yep. It'll be her and then one more protagonist, and then we're going to go straight into the villains only. Nice. Sidney is the best. If I were to rank the top 3, I'd say her, Nancy Thompson, and then Laurie Strode. Nancy from Nightmare on Elm Street. So
if you're going with the
final
the
girls,
big 3,
yeah. So
what about your Friday the 13th final girl?
I wouldn't even know who to pick.
We haven't really. Yeah,
there's so many.
Oh yeah.
So
I don't even think there is a final girl in that series.
Yeah, I don't know who you would
Tommy
choose.
Jarvis is the final boy.
Yeah, I guess. So yeah, Sidney, she's got a cool little backstory. She plays the like scared teenager well, but then she also fights back at the same time. So, she's not just running screaming. She tries to defend herself. And that is cool. Plus, she has this little backstory with, Ghostface, and it's always connected to her in some way. And then it's Neve Campbell. I mean, you can't go wrong with Neve Campbell. So
exactly.
So I mean, I'll take Neve Campbell over Jamie Lee Curtis. So if all things are the same, Neve Campbell wins. And yeah, she's lasted 4 movies.
and I'm not tired of
Yeah,
her.
yeah, exactly. And she's like one of those characters that, like, I would be happy if she survived throughout 5, but at the same time, like, I do love the character, but I'd also be happy if she was like the first death of the movie.
Yeah.
It's, you know, she's been in 4, like, it's okay, you can retire that character.
Yeah.
Like, you've done a really good job throughout 4 movies. Like,
Yeah.
you can just rest and, you know, let Ghostface kill you. That's fine.
Yeah, well, especially if they're trying to kind of reboot the franchise, try to get some more movies going, then you know, that's that's what these franchises should do. You know, they should have chapters. You know, her chapter is now kind of done, so let's move on to something else. And a lot of franchises don't do that. And
they tried
Halloween
doing that with like the TV show and stuff, but
okay.
I mean, it lasted 3 seasons.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, it's still, as far as Scream goes, it was still kind of a failure. I enjoyed the first 2 seasons; they were fun, entertaining, and a lot more violent than I thought it was going to be being on TV. But it, you know, nothing compares to the movies.
Yeah,
and
I don't think I really saw them. I might have watched a little bit of first season.
I think they're on Netflix.
Okay, yeah, it was on MTV, wasn't
it? I think the first 2 seasons were, and then got bought out by another. I honestly, it was either one or the other. I think it started on MTV and then went to like VH1.
Sci-fi, straight to sci-fi.
Oh yeah, it's like straight to sci-fi.
VH1, is that still a channel?
It's still around. Yeah.
Okay.
That
was like
started on VH1 and then got bought out by MTV. I'm not
VH1
sure which order.
VH1 was like your parents' MTV.
Yeah,
it was like you watch MTV and they watch VH1.
Mm-hmm. Now they're all just like reality shows and not music whatsoever anymore.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, Sydney, back to her.
Yes.
Yeah, she's just my favorite Final Girl. So she's going to be on the list. And as you see, she's number 8. So Final Girls aren't that important to me.
Yeah, apparently not.
So there you go.
Like I said, I wanted to have a healthy mix of both.
Well, that's what you wanted. It's not what I want.
I know. Oh, I know. And yeah, villains are a lot more fun.
Yeah.
For sure. Than like the heroes and stuff.
Yeah, you're rethinking your list. I can hear it in your voice.
I wish I probably do have one at least of the villains that you don't have on your list.
Oh, all right.
So
I guess we'll see.
Yeah. So my number 7 is going to. You mentioned this one earlier. Is going to be Nancy Thompson.
Oh, really? All right, cool.
Back-to-back Final Girls here.
All right, awesome.
And she is a lot better than Laurie. Yeah. Honestly, it would go Sydney, Nancy, and Laurie as far as like Final Girls go.
Yep. Same list that I gave you.
Yeah, I thought you switched it up, but Laurie Strode is always going to be last. But Nancy is a weird one because she actually had character development. Like she wasn't in movies back to back, but you know, she started in number 1. She was, you know, she actually took out Freddy in number 1. She was an actual Final Girl. And then number 2 happened, and I don't know what happened there. Completely different story altogether. But then she came back in number 3. Yeah. And it's a little unrealistic because I don't know how much time had passed between 1 and 3.
Yeah.
But she became like a therapist.
Yeah.
Wasn't she in high school? Doesn't it take like years to become a therapist?
Yeah.
But you know, character development. Like she actually went into a profession that would help people with what she went through in number 1.
Right.
And then she basically played herself in in New Nightmare.
Yeah, New Nightmare.
Yeah, New Nightmare. And so as far as characters go, she had like the weirdest trajectory, but also had some definite character development.
Yeah.
Between those movies. And she really wasn't in the franchise all that much because I think she dies in 3, but she's still up there with Final Girls for sure.
Yeah,
so.
What I liked was in the first one, her like booby traps and like kind of how she figured things out, you know, on what to do with Freddy. And she can scream. She can scream good. Well, that scene in the classroom when she like wakes up from the dream and she's screaming, man. That was a good scream. Very believable.
They say Jamie Lee Curtis is the scream queen, but I don't know.
Yeah, no, her scream is nothing. Yeah, so, nice. Yeah, Nancy, good pick.
3 good guys in a row.
Yeah. Okay, we're on number 7. My number 7 is the last of the protagonists. We're gonna go with Ash from Evil Dead, the Evil Dead series. He's just
and
awesome.
TV series.
Yeah, the Evil Dead
series.
Movies and TV. He's just awesome. Bruce Campbell, the way the characters acted, the charisma that he brings, and the like body language and mannerisms and stuff, the facial expressions, the one-liners, the way he's written, just and the way that the movies are filmed, really it works so well with that character because of the zooming camera work and you know it's just I'm just like picturing
his like facial expressions and stuff. It's, especially in 2. 2 is definitely like a half horror, half comedy type of thing. So his expressions really came out more. In 2 and 3 actually. 3 was more comedy.
Army of Darkness.
They really like they really dipped in horror. As the series went on. But so it was all about like his facial expressions and stuff in those movies. He's just fun. I mean, I remember seeing Army of Darkness and just rewinding over and over scenes because they were just so funny. And like he's just an icon. I mean, because of Evil Dead, Bruce Campbell is a horror icon and like a cult classic actor. And so, you know, he'll forever have a spot at like a Comic-Con event or something. He'll forever have a booth if he wants it. Yeah, he does most Sam Raimi movies. And just him being in all 3 of like the Spider-Man movies, he pretty much has a Comic-Con spot right there.
Yeah. There's that too.
But definitely Evil Dead for sure.
So,
and
then you know, to bring him to TV, how many years later? 30 years later or something? Like, and then to still have that magic, to have that character be pretty much the same as he was in the films. That's hard to do, and so that's just awesome how they were able to achieve that. And now I want to watch those movies.
I remember when we went to see the remake, the reboot of Evil Dead. I'm like, is it really? It's a weird one because he kind of has an appearance at the very end,
right?
But we watched the original one first, and the reboot was definitely a lot of fun, but still, like 30 years later. That original was still creepier. Like it's still like, you know, it was definitely dated, but I mean it was his first movie, like straight out of film school. So for that being his first movie, and both Bruce Campbell and Sam Raimi's like first movie, you know, it's still like held up for sure. And
just something about the way that looks, you know, the effects that they use and the camera work, and
Yeah.
just the music and everything just all came together, and it just made such an unsettling vibe throughout the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, the makeup design.
Yeah.
And the acting also for the ones that got,
That turned.
possessed.
Yeah.
That got turned. Like it was all really good, especially the girl that was in that was underneath the
in the basement
she did
area.
a really good the basement. She did a really good job.
Yeah, she
with
was
like her laugh and everything.
freaky.
It was creepy. So, yeah, that's a good choice.
Yeah, number 7. So what is your number 6?
My number 6. My number 6 is John Doe, Kevin Spacey from Seven.
Oh,
He
John
wasn't
Doe.
in it. His name is John Doe. He wasn't in it a whole lot, but this movie is in my top 10
Yeah,
because of his appearance.
yeah,
Because of the last 10-15 minutes of the movie, it became more than just like a crime thriller. It's, Kevin Spacey gave it a lot more emotion and feeling than just being a crime thriller. It wouldn't have been nearly as good if we didn't have that dialogue between Kevin Spacey and Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman. And his character is what made that movie for me.
yeah. Me too.
It's what made it. It's what pretty much put it in my top 10 of all time. The movie itself is good, but it's just your basic crime thriller. Like there's really not anything special about it. Besides he, kills in the 7 deadly sins, but that's just a way of killing people in these types of movies. It's just,
every killer in those types of movies has their like MO, their calling card, or whatever,
Exactly.
It's pretty common.
Yeah, it is. And just the dialogue between him, just in that like 5-minute car ride, was like, all right, that basically put it over the top for me. And then we have the infamous ending, which is also really crazy.
Yeah,
and made total sense for him to finish his 7 deadly sins. Like it's, and I love that movie and I love that character. And so I had to, he made it to my number 6 spot.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. Can't argue with any of that. He's awesome. And, kind of like a Hannibal Lecter type of deal where they don't need much screen time to be really effective.
Exactly. Exactly.
So kind of the same kind of thing, just great acting and writing and presence. Okay, so I forgot to mention one of my honorable mentions.
Did you?
Yes.
I thought you named all 5 of them.
No, I forgot one that I was looking through my list and I'm like, how come I haven't mentioned this one yet? And then I saw, I forgot. So he is Candyman. Okay. I forgot to mention him. He was newly added to my list as I just watched the.
I figured he probably was just added.
Yeah, I thought about him. He was he was on a list of like 20, but I didn't know where to put him. And then when I watched the movie last night, then I was like, okay, I want to at least mention him because Tony Todd is a horror icon, and it's because of his role as Candyman.
And,
his voice, the whole allure,
his booming voice.
the whole allure of Candyman, the hook, it's just, and he's unlike any other slasher villain. So we're gonna do a review on the 1992 Candyman and then the new one as well. So we'll get into him a little more during those, but I did want to mention him because he is badass.
He is a really cool character for sure.
All right, so my number 6, we're gonna go with Jason Voorhees.
Okay.
He's, I was debating on putting him on my list at all because he's kind of boring.
You just lost viewers.
He's kind of boring. I mean, you have to be honest.
Yeah.
He doesn't really do anything. I mean, he kills, and the kills are always really creative and fun in the Friday movies. The rest, all other hour and 25 minutes of the movie is not good. Most of them, they're mostly bad movies, but the kills are what you watch Friday for. And seeing Jason, I mean, he looks cool. He looks cool, like how big he is, and the hockey mask, and the whole his whole story with his mom, and all that, and drowning in the lake, and blah blah blah. Like that's all cool too. I like all that stuff. But overall, when you see him through the movies, all he's doing is walking around killing people.
Yeah.
And another character that I will mention later does a lot of the same, but I will say why he does it better. So anyways, Jason. The reason
this character we've mentioned a couple times.
Yeah. You guys are going to be really surprised once I say who it is. Jason, the reason why I had to put him on the list is because he is, for the modern day average just movie fan, if they see him, they know who he is. Probably more than any other horror character. If I go to a 15-year-old and I show him a picture of Jason, they know who that is. I show him a picture of Candyman. Probably not going to know who that is. Show him a picture of Reagan.
Probably not, no.
Show him a picture of Reagan. Probably not. Ash. Probably not. Laurie. Probably not. So there's a lot of...
These are just... The ones you mentioned have no costume. It's just basically just... Ash. That's Bruce Campbell. Like, it's
No,
at least with Jason, he's got like a hockey mask. So I mean, Candyman. That's Tony Todd. Like, he doesn't really have any distinguishing looks to him.
Okay, fair enough. But I have to give. Okay, so I want to mention a couple of other people, but they're later on my list. That I think if you showed a picture of them, and they do have costumes, they do have a certain look, they wouldn't know who they are, or they would confuse them with Jason. So I have like first-hand experience data, narrative, anecdotal data to back up my point here.
Oh.
So...
Oh, man. All right.
A couple years ago.
Can't wait for your scientific research.
Yeah, it's been peer-reviewed, so don't worry about it. A couple years ago, my job, they did like a Halloween party. And I work with, I'm one of the older people at my job, so I work with a lot of younger people in their 20s. And so I was there, and I was dressed up as a guy with a white mask. And like coveralls, like a mechanic outfit, whoever that could be. And I was walking around, and someone came up to me, and they're like, "Oh, cool, you came as Jason." I'm like, "What? No." And I was really like disappointed, and
you stab him after that.
I was really offended. And but it showed me like, okay, they know that this person that I'm dressed up as is a horror character, but they think it's Jason. And now if I came as Jason, they would know.
A horror like party? Oh,
it was a Halloween party.
Oh, it was just a costume party. It wasn't a
yeah. It was,
okay.
It was just Halloween.
It's Halloween party. It's most people. Okay. Most people dress up as horror characters on Halloween parties.
But they would know.
At least knew it was horror. Yeah.
But Jason, that was the person that they said. And if I dressed up as Jason, then they would say Jason. So, and then my friend came as somebody with a mask, and he has kind of like a burnt face, and came as that guy. and someone didn't even know who he was. The same person.
Wow.
The same person didn't, like, who are you? So, you know,
same person is a sheltered young person.
So, I don't know. I'm like, okay, Jason, he just, I don't know. I feel like he's the iconic slasher character when you take, like, if you were to pull every person in the world and give them pictures, everybody would know Jason before they'd know other characters.
Yeah,
I feel like he's just that big.
It's sad, but yeah.
His movies are the worst, but
yeah,
he's larger than life, and so I had to put him on there, and I was like, okay, I'll put him somewhere in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
So,
all right,
there's my spiel.
All right, so we're on number 5.
Yeah.
My number 5 is a little character known as Michael Myers.
Wait.
I don't know if people are going to know who he is.
Okay. Well, all right. Does he have a white face?
He does.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
right.
pretty crazy. He does have a white face. And he, so the fact that I have him as number 5, clearly tells you that I don't have Jason on my list, because he definitely would have been before Michael Myers.
Okay.
And he's just such a cooler character. Yeah. Like, I've seen so many people post on our horror groups like, who's better, Michael or Jason?
Yeah.
And I can never understand who would win in a fight, Michael or Jason. And I can never understand. I get Jason's basically like an animal.
Yeah.
Like there's no thinking whatsoever. He just goes out and kills.
Yeah.
There's at least some sophistication.
Yeah.
Towards Michael Myers.
Yeah.
Like, he is a stalker first and foremost. Not so much in this last movie, but that's what he's known as. He's known for his stalking abilities and
his stealth-like spy skills.
Exactly. He should have been a spy. He could have been in another life, Michael, if he hadn't turned to murder.
My name is Myers. Michael Myers.
Michael Myers. It works.
It does.
And it's, he's just such a there's just something about that character that, like, yes, Jason is an animal and he's been to hell and everything. I'm pretty sure Michael's been to hell too at some point and escaped. But I don't know. He definitely would beat Jason in a fight for sure.
You think so?
I think he would. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I feel like Jason's he's just so brutal. Like, he's just so much bigger and stronger, and
it depends on which
the weapons
Michael
that
you're talking. Yeah,
that's true.
Would have been a really good fight. Would have been like the Friday the 13th reboot and the Rob Zombie Michael.
Yeah, there you go. That's like
that would have been a really.
Yeah, that's like the Big Show versus Andre the Giant.
Yeah. So yeah, because of Jason is probably more brutal than Michael is, but Michael's got more smarts. He's got the stealth.
Yeah,
he
is smarter.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Like I said, Jason's basically just an animal. He just murders.
Yeah,
for the sake of murdering. So I think those reasons alone, Michael would find a way of taking Jason out.
Yeah. Okay. I like your argument there.
Well, thank you. It's been something. I've seen it so many times on our groups, and it's like, no, there's no way. Like, Michael is the better fighter.
Yeah.
Like, Jason's brutal. Yes. He can take on civilians like nothing.
Yeah.
But when you go up against another basically immortal character, like who's gonna win? I mean, immortal versus immortal, it's like Freddy versus Jason. There's really no losers.
Yeah.
in that.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean with Michael, the more he kills, the more he transcends.
Apparently, yeah. According to this last trailer, yeah.
Already quoting the movie, hasn't even come out yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man, I'm so excited for that.
Watch that line not even be in the movie.
I know. It's like the focus point of the whole trailer too.
Yeah, exactly. It's not even in it. She turns into the Dr. Loomis of the series.
Yeah, that's definitely a Loomis thing to say.
Yeah.
Okay. You ready for my number 5?
What's your number 5?
All right. We're going a little guy from Texas.
Can I guess?
Leatherface.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
I don't know why, but I think Leatherface is so cool. I think he's scary. He's one of the scarier slasher characters.
He's got a chainsaw.
Yeah, he's got a chainsaw, and
you can't really beat. I mean, it's one of those weapons that you can hear a mile away.
Definitely not stealth-like.
Like starting it up. Like, come on.
That'd be funny if Michael had a chainsaw. He wouldn't be very good.
Yeah. No.
Catch him a mile away.
Man.
Yeah. But no, Leatherface with his his chainsaw, but also, you know, he stitches people's faces and wears it, and you know, the hair and everything. Like he's creepy like that. His family is so insane.
Yeah, that's the thing though. That's kind of like unfair advantage because his family's just as crazy as he is.
Yeah.
But you know, he's the one that actually kills people. They're the one that set people up.
Yeah, they set the trap. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just feel like he's scary.
In, little girl.
Some Southern hospitality.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, he's just scary, and the whole chainsaw thing. You know, now anytime, you know, it's such pop culture. Like, oh, a chainsaw massacre, or you know, like you go to a haunted house or whatever during Halloween season. There's gonna be like, you know, one of the haunts is gonna have like a guy with a chainsaw, and this is because of Texas Chainsaw Massacres, because of Leatherface. He made that a thing. Yeah, and you know, that's now a chainsaw is like synonymous with horror. So, and he's just scary. I mean, his movies might not be that good. I just
couple of them.
I'm not a fan of the original. I'll have to watch it again, but I thought that movie was just annoying as hell.
Hey, don't say anything yet. We're working on that series right now.
We are going to be working on that. But yeah, that was just my first impression. But the remake, loved the remake. Still one of my favorite horror
and Beginnings
films.
Was good too.
And
like the prequel that came out after that one.
Yeah, The Beginning. Yeah. And so, and then, you know, hopefully we'll be getting a new one here. And I don't know. He's just scary. He's grimy. He's dirty. And yeah, I like Leatherface. I think Leatherface versus Jason, who's going to win that match?
Oh man, I don't even know. Because they're basically the same character, just one has a chainsaw.
Yeah.
They're both animals. Like they're both pretty brutal. But as what the remake, I think that was a remake.
Yeah.
Showed us, like, I think he tripped and fell and actually landed on his chainsaw. So he's not too bright.
No, he's not a very smart guy.
Just have him chase you around for a while, and eventually he'll trip and fall.
Yeah.
Maybe kill himself.
Yeah, I mean, imagine running around with a chainsaw, though. That'd be hard.
It would be. But I'd never do it.
So, anyways.
Because it'd be hard.
So yeah, I put him right above Jason, just because I like him a little more. And I'm a big slasher guy. So I'm going to have all the slasher guys in my list here.
Yeah.
So.
I have a couple, but I don't have those two.
All right. Number 4 for you.
Number 4 is probably gonna upset people that this came before or that this is after Michael.
Okay.
But it's gonna be Jigsaw.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I like it.
I love Jigsaw.
Yeah.
Jigsaw, like the movies may not be the best, but that character is always been solid. It's like just Tobin Bell.
Yeah.
In general, he's what makes those movies. And it was kind of a bummer that he at least didn't have some cameo appearance in Spiral.
Yeah.
But I mean, his character is always. I love that we get his story throughout the entire series, at least the first 5 or 6 of them.
Yeah, yeah.
we get his story.
Yeah,
and 4 through 6, because we really don't get a whole lot of it in 1 through 3.
Yeah, I don't even remember, dude.
I mean, we did the series like
I know it wasn't that long ago, but I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah,
there's so much that happens in those movies.
There really is. Yeah, maybe a little bit too much that happens in those movies. But when it comes to him, like I love where he's coming from. I love a villain that actually thinks he's doing the right thing.
Yeah.
It
makes him
gray
scarier.
Yeah, it does. And it's, just like John Doe 7, like what he was doing it for the betterment of the world. Basically, he was getting rid of, the people that were guilty of the 7 deadly sins.
Yeah.
And Jigsaw, like, he's getting rid of the worst of the worst people.
Yeah.
In his mind. Some of them didn't really deserve what happened, but a lot of them, were not the best people.
Yeah.
Maybe didn't deserve to be tortured quite like they were. But I get where he was coming from.
Yeah.
Throughout those movies. And like I said, I love a villain that I can feel that way about, but also like feel guilty for feeling like I understand what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Because that's one step away from actually doing it myself, right? I get where he's going.
It's that psychological aspect to the character.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. And yeah, like I said, the movies may not be the best, but I really love that character. So he made it in my top 5.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Yeah, top 4. So my number 4 is, I don't consider it cheating, but it might be. We're gonna go with Ghostface.
Ghostface. Okay.
It's not.
We've gotten like 8 of them so far.
It's not one person, but it is one character. No. So I'm gonna stick to that. Ghostface, the look. I mean, it's iconic. Scream really revamped horror. With that, everybody had a Ghostface costume. It was all over the place during the 90s for Halloween. The whole voice changing thing with the phone calls and stuff.
Yeah,
so cool. And I like that the kills aren't like super crazy. The kills are, he's got a dagger basically.
He's got a knife. It gets kind of boring after a while, towards like maybe the 3rd or 4th, just because he's just stabbing people. Yeah, like there's no creativity at all in what he's doing, which I kind of hope we get a little bit more of in 5. Yeah. But yeah,
it doesn't bother me that much.
No, it doesn't bother me that much either. It would just be kind of nice to get a little bit more like different deaths. Although there was that one in the first one which was really ridiculous.
Where she's going garage door?
Yeah. Like that would never happen, but okay.
That's the one creative one that they're like, okay, let's reel back on my creativity. Yeah. But yeah, like Ghostface, like his or her mystery aspect is what's cool about Ghostface too. Is you never know who it is, and that's what I love about that character. So
yeah,
it is a character played by many different characters.
Yeah.
So we'll see who plays Ghostface this time around.
Yeah, there's theories that it's going to be Sydney or one of the other originals.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, that would be stupid. If
Yeah,
they did that.
they can't do Sydney. No way. That
I mean,
yeah.
her family was, her cousin was
Yeah,
the
that's
last
true.
one.
Yeah.
So it's in the family.
Yeah. I don't know. I
that
don't
would
know
be
if I'd
stupid.
buy that. I don't think you can pull it off.
She's been through so much that she just becomes Ghostface herself. Like, no,
Yeah.
that doesn't work.
Yeah. No, thank you. We're getting to our top 3 here.
Top 3. And a character that we just talked about, Sydney Prescott,
All right. Cool.
is my number 3 character.
All right. She was my number 8.
She was. And she was so much higher than my last final girl.
Yeah.
Nancy was number 7.
Yeah.
That's just, she, even from the very beginning, she's always been my favorite final girl. From the first movie, and then just, 2 through 4, I know I talked about character development with Nancy, but as far as like final girls go, of those top 3, she's been in the most movies.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
So she better have more character development than the others. Which she does. Even in number 2, she is working at like a where is she working? Like she takes phone calls from
Oh, yeah.
what is it?
People like domestic abuse or like, I can't remember.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like some hotline for like mental health.
hotline. Mm-hmm. And it goes with her character from what she went through in number 1.
Yeah.
And what she went through with her mom getting murdered or going missing. There's a whole thing with that mom. Yeah, it gets pretty convoluted. But as far as number 2 goes, like, she thinks her mom's being murdered at this point by people that she considered friends from the first one.
Yeah.
And, it would mess up pretty much anybody. And she uses that to like help other people. And while being a badass herself, like with the future Ghostface killers and stuff. So she is a really cool character. I really like Sydney Prescott.
Yeah. Yeah. She's our number 1. So
Yeah.
final girl at least.
Our number 1 final girl.
So she has earned her spot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so my number 3 is Jigsaw.
Nice.
Yeah. I mentioned it when you were talking, but the whole psychological element to his character, just the way he talks, he kind of convinces you, He's got that charisma to convince you to what he's doing and how he's, righteous in what he's doing. And just, Tobin Bell, want to play a game, like that whole thing.
So iconic.
It's iconic. The puppet Billy,
Really.
Jigsaw's story, his whole motivation and everything. There's a reason why there's so many Saw movies. And they all revolve around
the story, right?
Yeah. They all revolve around Jigsaw. So
yeah, it does.
there you go.
Except for number 5, I don't think we get anything with him in that one.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Which is like why it's like my least favorite of the movies.
So yeah, he'll always be a top guy for me. I don't think he'll ever come off my list.
Oh yeah, especially like as far up as they are.
Yeah.
Like it's number 3 on your list, number 4 on my list. There's no way it's gonna drop to like not even an honorable mention.
Yeah.
Drop below that. So yeah, he is definitely a character that really makes you think. It's a very psychological character for sure.
Yeah.
So
Love
yeah,
it.
it's in our top 5 at least.
Mm-hmm. All right, what do you got for number 2?
My number 2 is gonna be a little guy named Freddy Krueger.
Nice.
He is.
Man, I'm really curious about your number 1. I'm wondering if it's who I think it is. We'll see.
We'll see. Freddy Krueger is just such a cool character. As far as the top 3, like the main 3, he is. Well, I mean, he's up there. He's number 2, so obviously he's my favorite of the 3.
Yeah.
His kills are creative and imaginative. He is a funny character.
Yeah.
I think number 1 they tried to make it more serious, but after that he was just like, the fact that he talks anyway.
Yeah.
Puts him above the other 2. Like it's just I love
Says
the fact
you.
that he talks at all. Yeah. And I mean Michael Myers is scary because he doesn't talk. He's just a stalker, he's stealth. But it just for me adds something to the character when there's actually some dialogue.
Yeah.
With his victims.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's all the way through. The movies definitely drop after a while.
Yeah.
But the character itself pretty much stays in my mind. As the movies go on, they get more ridiculous, just like Dr. Loomis. As the movies go on, he gets more ridiculous. The things Freddy says gets more ridiculous. But it's funny. Like it's still like there's still comedy in there.
There's definitely entertainment value with Freddy.
Yeah.
You're never going to be lacking in that department.
Yeah, definitely. And he is I love his razor blade fingers and his creative ways of killing people, and he's just a really fun character.
Yeah. Well, my number
classic
2
character.
My number 2 is the same guy from Springfield.
From Springfield?
Springwood, sorry.
Do we jump into the Simpsons world all of a sudden?
Springwood. Yeah, no, Freddy is awesome. I really contemplated putting him number 1, but there's a guy who I have mentioned I can't replace. The whole glove.
Oh yeah, we
razor.
haven't gotten to that guy with you yet.
No, we haven't.
So you're probably disappointed. He was pretty. He was like middle of the road.
No, I'm okay with that. I understand why people don't like that guy as much as I do. So it's okay. But anyways, Freddy. He's also kind of psychological in how he messes with people and how he talks to people and stuff. I just like when he cusses and it's just okay, so I mentioned Chucky a while back.
Yeah, a while back.
Yeah. Him and Freddy get kind of compared, and Chucky sucks compared to Freddy because the excessive that you have to use the dialogue of your killer a little more sparingly, and with Freddy I feel like they use it just enough. He doesn't over talk. He doesn't have a ton of stuff where it's like, okay, he's not even a scary character anymore. He's just a guy in a suit, talking. They use the dialogue just enough for Freddy to where he's still a horror character, but you get the entertainment value of what he's saying and, if he's cussing or whatever. where Chucky, he's just cussing all the time, talking all the time. So it's not the same.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's why I like Freddy. I mean, he's got a few, scarier movies. But just the charisma that he has is just unbeatable.
Of all like the slashers, serial killer, well, not to you because there's one a slasher higher up, but
he's just a slash higher,
just one slash higher. He is the most entertaining of them all.
Yeah.
And yeah, there is some psychologic. There's definitely some of that in there, in that character.
Yeah.
Psychologicalness. Not even a word. It is for the sake of this podcast.
Okay.
To him, like he's just toying with his victims at some points.
Yeah.
And except for Johnny Depp, he didn't even get a chance to. He just gets grabbed from underneath his waterbed. It's kind of messed up, but he doesn't even get a chance to like be scared or anything. It just happens. But yeah, for the most part, like his character, his victims are the more they fear, probably the more the better it is when he kills them.
Yeah.
To him anyway.
Yeah.
And
and I like that whole element to his character is that he feeds on the fear and he needs fear in order to kill. Yeah. And so like his game that he has to play in order to bring fear into his victims is really cool. It's a cool little element to add to the character. Yeah. And then he's got his backstory,
Yeah. They all have to have a backstory.
Child murderer burned alive by
depends on which version you're watching.
Yeah.
You're watching the
and his look, like his sweater with his
iconic sweater with his burned face.
Yeah, and his
burned body actually.
Fedora.
His filleted body.
His fedora and his glove.
Yeah.
Like it's just it's really cool. And his laugh. It's just, so good. So good. Man. Robert Englund. Thank you very much.
Yes. You did a good job. You did an okay job. You did a job that's it's really not going to be fair for like the next Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
Because everyone's going to compare the two.
Oh yeah.
And they already did that with the remake. Compared the two Freddys. And people were like, Freddy was funnier in the original. I was like, no, he wasn't.
Yeah,
no, he
original?
wasn't.
He wasn't funny at all.
Yeah, exactly. That was the most horror of them all.
Yeah.
And I've heard that argument between like the remake and the original. It's like he was funnier in the original. I like that one better. It's like no, you need to go back and watch the original.
I don't think you watched the original. I think you watched a different one. Maybe the fourth one or fifth one.
He was funnier in the remake. I was just petting him.
Yeah.
Oh man. But yeah, it just people are saying they want like Kevin Bacon to be the next Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
It's like I can kind of see it. Like,
he already looks like him.
Yeah.
He doesn't even need makeup. His face is getting a little wrinkly and a little disformed. So and cut costs on makeup, so don't need the CGI.
No. All right. We are at number 1. And I have an idea of what your number 1 is.
You think you know, huh?
I think I might. I have an idea.
Okay. Well, let's go with yours first.
Oh, sorry. My number 1 is going to be Ash.
Ash, yeah.
Ash.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking that.
Yeah. Well, I texted you like a week ago. I was like, is Ash on your list?
Yeah.
I didn't know he was going to be that high up.
Why would you text me that?
I just wanted to know one of your characters. I was like, I had Ash on my mind.
That was so random.
I was like,
what, does he think I'm actually going to tell him? I'm not going to give you any ideas.
Could have just said yes. It could have been one of 15 spots.
No. And that was a pretty random one too.
It was
to text me.
It was, guys. It's as far as the. I mean, like we said, there's quite a few that didn't make either of our lists. There's a lot of heroes and villains that, like, I thought Ash might be, kind of one that
slipped through.
Slipped through the cracks. And so if you don't know anything about the Evil Dead movies and just go into it, Ash really isn't a hero. He isn't really anything. Honestly,
he's just
he could have
a guy.
been like he's just a guy. He could have been like he's the type of guy that would have been either the first one killed off or halfway through the movie killed off.
Yeah.
He is not a hero type character until the end of the movie, basically.
Yeah.
He's just some guy that decided to go with him, and I love that.
Yeah.
That aspect. He turns into like this average guy. He turns from this average guy to this chainsaw wielding. Or is it chainsaw? Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a chainsaw. Chainsaw wielding like badass.
Yeah, connected to his arm.
To his stub.
Yeah. I don't know how they did that, but
yeah. However they did it, it was really cool. It works. And he's just he does have charisma, like you were saying before. He's a very charismatic character, but you still don't see that for the first 3/4 of the movie. Really, he's still this average guy that's just seeing everything happen around him.
Yeah.
And like he's seeing people, get killed all around him, his friends and stuff. And at a certain point, he just decides to fight back and turns into this horror icon.
Yeah, he's like a horror action star.
Yeah,
he's like if you had to pick like an action star in horror, it would be him. Him and like Ripley, I guess, would kind of count too. But
Ripley,
he's more of an action star in the sense of like the over the topness that he has, that he brings.
Mm-hmm. And as the movies go on, 2 and 3 is when you see like the facial expressions come out, and he's also really funny.
Yeah,
he's a funny horror action star.
Yeah.
You don't see that often.
The facial expressions.
The facial expressions are ridiculous. Yeah. And he's just, I don't know. There's nobody that can. He's my number one. Yeah. For a reason. Like
he's kind of like a cartoon character. Like
he is like as the movies progress, he does turn into a cartoon character. Yeah, for sure.
Not in like a bad way. Like it's just the only way I can think to describe him.
Over the top.
Yeah. If you haven't seen, especially Evil Dead 2 or Army of Darkness, if you haven't seen those two movies, that's the best way I can describe him. Is he's a real life cartoon character.
He doesn't even have like that many lines, I think, in number 1.
Yeah.
He's literally just a side character that turns into the hero of the story.
Right.
And can I really say hero since like everybody dies? It's not like he's a hero.
He didn't save anybody. He saved himself.
Yeah, I know.
He was the final guy.
Yeah. He's the best final guy. And there really aren't too many final guys.
No.
It's always the final girls you hear about.
Yeah. So this is so did you pick a man just to like fight back against that?
That wasn't even thinking about. Oh yeah, you want to talk? Let's hear what your number 1 is.
Hey, my number 1 is not a man or a woman. My number 1 is evil. Okay.
Evil incarnate.
Yeah. He's genderless. And all he does is go around killing women.
Yeah, I know.
Oh man! All right, are you done with Ash? So I can talk about this mystery guy.
I think so. Yeah, this mystery guy that goes around killing women.
All right.
Who are you talking about?
Okay, so my number one is a little guy from Haddonfield, Illinois. He murdered his older sister when he was like 7 or 8 or something. And then came back to town with a white mask and mechanic's outfit and started killing babysitters for
White mask
40 years.
Mechanic's outfit. It's just such the description. Oh man.
Okay, so it sounds so dumb when you like say it out loud, you know. If you like describe it in just like the simplest terms. But no, the allure, the mask. I mean, if it wasn't for his mask, he would not be nearly as cool. The white
it changes like every movie.
Well, the basic design of the mask.
Okay,
is what I mean. If it wasn't for that piece to him, he would not be nearly as cool. The motionless white face. Mm-hmm. It's so creepy.
Yeah,
his stalking, the fact that he can kind of stalk in either in the shadows or in plain sight because he comes out on Halloween, so everybody's dressed up, so he can just kind of blend in, you know. I think that's awesome. The whole family stuff, like him and Laurie and his niece Jamie and all that, it's fine. I figure you have to do something like that if you're going to make this many movies. You have to have some sort of connection to the characters, which is fine. It works, I would say, for the most part. So that's cool too. I like the story there. But just the whole package is why Michael is so cool. The music, the look that he has, his walking, because like there's Jason. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. You described this mystery character.
Yeah.
And never once said his full name.
I know.
The entire time you're talking about.
I know, that was by design.
Oh, okay.
I didn't want to give it away. So, I mean, if you've listened to this show, I'm sure I mentioned Michael Myers once every couple episodes or something.
Probably,
so I don't think it would be much of a surprise. But if this is the first one, this might be a big surprise. So
why are you starting on number 100?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, better to start here.
I mean, they're not
never.
all like connected or anything like that, but
better now.
You'll get
never.
lost if you start on number 100.
So, dang, what was I going to say? Oh, with Jason. So Jason's kind of a similar character. He doesn't talk. He has a mask and he kills people. Mm-hmm. Those are the similarities. And he walks, but he also kind of power walks, Jason. And I'm pretty sure I've seen him run before too. So
I think he has, yeah.
Yeah, I think Jason runs from time to time. Michael always walks, and it's always a very casual walk.
And he always seems to get his victims somehow.
Yeah,
when
always
they're running
them.
away and he's just walking.
Yeah. And that's just so awesome. It makes no sense.
It doesn't.
Like physically.
Well, that goes with his stealthness,
Yeah.
though, right?
Yeah, exactly. He like floats over to you. It makes no sense in like physics that he can walk that slow and someone can run, but he can still catch up walking.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense. But it just, when you see a character running away, screaming, and then it shows him just walking. Like, he's not in no hurry.
Then he's in front of you all of a sudden.
He's going to get there eventually, and you're going to die. It's just inevitable. And he's not like in a rush. He's not worried about it. And he's a machine, you know?
Yeah.
He's like the Terminator. And like the whole head tilt thing that he does. And it's just, man, I cannot wait for the next movie. I really hope that they do a good job with him. Because I do think they did a really good job in 2018 with Michael. I think that was one thing they definitely got right. And so I hope that they can keep that for this next one.
Oh, he's basically gonna be Jason in this next movie.
Yeah.
He's just gonna be murdering people left and right.
You know, I wanna see Michael go off. I do want to see that because he didn't really get to go off too much in 2018.
He's mad now.
But I also want to see the stalking. You know, I want to see him kind of lurking around before he kills. You know, I don't want just him to walk in the front door and kill somebody, you know?
Yeah.
I want him to kind of
do that a whole
sneak
lot in 2018, though.
Yeah, no, he
just
didn't.
sort of like went and killed people. And this is going to take place in the same night.
Yeah.
So I think he's just going to be like just murdering everyone.
Yeah.
Basically. I don't think there's not going to be enough like time for stalking, really.
Well, I mean, it doesn't even have to be that much. Like, let's say, you know, he's going to kill these people in this home, right? He's going to kind of lurk around the house for a minute, like look through the windows, and you're going to see him in the background, you know, from here to there, and then he kills. Like, just something. I want, like, some of that, because that's so important, I think, to
his character.
To that character. You know, that's what brings Michael to the screen, is that, like, in the background stuff, and, you know, and his white face, like, in the background, like, it stands out, kind of, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, so I can talk about him forever. So yeah, he's my number one. Probably always will be. I don't see anybody topping him. So, Freddy.
All right.
I thought about Freddy for like half a second when we were doing our Nightmare on Elm Street series. I thought, man, I'm having a lot of fun with Freddy. He's really fun, but he's fun. You know.
Yeah.
He's not on the same level of Michael. So
yeah,
I was just gonna say Freddy's kind of like LeBron. He'll never be Michael. Perfect. That is perfect.
Little basketball humor there for you.
Yeah. That was a good one.
People.
That was a good one.
Oh man!
All right, so we're gonna end there.
Who's Jason?
Jason, I don't know who he is. I don't have references for him. Just nobody's ever. You can be any other basketball player. You're never gonna be Michael.
Yeah.
Whether it be Jordan or Myers
or Jackson. Yeah.
Michael Jackson's a horror character. That's for sure.
Thriller. Hey, you know.
Yeah, he was a horror character in real life. So
yeah.
He's a little too real. Okay, that's it. Number 100 is in the books.
100.
Yep.
Man,
that was a good list. That was fun.
It was. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We did have some of the same people on our lists.
Yeah.
But they were definitely, except for one, definitely in different orders.
There was two.
And
Freddy was
two. Oh yeah, two.
The same,
Freddy was number 2, and Dr. Loomis
and
was
Loomis number 9. Yeah. That was really that was a coincidence. I mean, Freddy being number 2, I could see us both having that, but Loomis, that was pretty random.
Even having him on both of our lists alone, like of all the horror characters, and
I mean, look at that.
Our honorable mentions were all different too, which was pretty cool.
I mean, you look at our lists. I guess your list, because I didn't have Laurie on mine. You had 3 Halloween characters on your list.
I did.
Think about that, Joel.
I had 2 Scream characters on mine.
No, only 2.
Only 2, yeah, but still, you know.
Out of all the movies, Halloween had the most.
It did. It did, and there's a reason for it. Like, as far as the movies go, like, they have some of the best characters.
Yeah.
You
could have put
I
Tommy
can't
Doyle
believe I
in there.
lumped Laurie in. What? Yeah. No. Maybe with the next movie.
Yeah, maybe.
Tommy was just a little boy in the first one.
Yeah.
I'm not adding him to any list. Well, no, he was in 6 also.
Yeah.
But
he was awesome.
1 in 6. Yeah. Paul Rudd, man.
Some really weird acting, but pretty cool character.
I wish he came back for the next one, but
Yeah.
he's just too big of a star now.
Yeah, Mr. Big Shot.
Yeah.
All right, so this one's in the books, 100 episodes. We've been doing this since January of 2020.
Yep.
And we're banging out some of those big hitters that are coming out this year. We got the next one, Candyman, coming out pretty soon.
Coming out in a week. Well, I don't know when this is getting posted, but
yeah, comes out August 27th.
Yes.
And we'll be first posting our review on the original from 1992, and then we'll do the new one. I guess the reboot. It's not a remake because it's a little different. Looks like.
Well, it's IMDb says it's a spiritual sequel.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Whatever that means.
We're just trying to come up with all types of different ways to name these movies that have the same title with the same characters. We don't want to call it a remake because we've done that too many times.
Exactly.
So now it's a spiritual sequel. Okay.
Spiritual sequel.
All right, whatever. So yeah, those will be coming up next. And then, we got plenty. It's like every week, I swear, a new movie.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, we're getting closer to like October, so
yeah,
movies are gonna start coming out here.
Yeah.
Every week.
Just a little, just to throw it in because I saw a movie and we're probably not going to review it. The Night House. Just watched that over the weekend. That was good.
I've been wanting to see that one.
Yeah, that was good. Definitely recommend it. It's dark. It's creepy. Good atmosphere. A cool story. Definitely original. And it'll get you to jump multiple times. It got me to jump probably 3 times. And it wasn't like cheap jump scared, like pop up in front of your face and then it's just
that's
like
good. Or like
just
the
like
music
a coat
changes
or
all of a sudden. Yeah.
So yeah, I enjoyed it. It's kind of depressing though, but anyways. Good movie.
Nice. I'll have to check that one out. I like that it's in theaters. That means it's it's a good enough movie to not be on VOD right away.
You trying to say something about Terrifier 2?
No. No, I'm just saying that it's...
I know what you mean. I mean, Terrifier's not for everybody, so,
No, yeah. I mean, he's going to be a new slasher icon here.
Oh, he'll be moving up my list. Maybe in 300 more episodes, we might do this again.
We'll do another one.
And there might be 4 movies in at that point. And,
or our 500th episode.
Yeah. Then, Art, he might be my number 2. You never know.
Nice.
He's got potential.
He's gonna take out Freddy as your number 2.
Yeah. Could happen.
With just 2 movies. Nice.
No. By the time we get to 500,
they'll probably be
5 movies.
Terrifier 3 and 4. Yeah.
Yeah. So
it takes just a year and a half to get to 100. So
yeah, there you go. Okay, so yeah, look out for those movies, including Terrifier and Terrifier 2, whenever that happens. But yeah, so Joel, welcome back. Glad to have you back on the show.
Yeah.
And
yeah, it's been a little while.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. Well, that's it. This has been Scare Talk.
Sleep tight.
Don't let that one guy with the white mask and the mechanic outfit bite.